Another beautiful day in the Loire Valley, another chateau to explore. Today, we're walking the gardens and halls of Château de Chenonceau. One of the most visited chateaux in the Loire Valley, Château de Chenonceau is truly breathtaking, and the stories it holds are intriguing to say the least. In this video, we'll uncover the stories of the formidable women who wielded power here, from Diane de Poitiers to Catherine de Medici, as they turned this castle into a symbol of influence and elegance. We'll explore the castle's role during turbulent times, and of course, we'll revel in the breathtaking beauty of the gardens and the serene waters of the Cher River. Whether you're planning a visit or just looking to immerse yourself in a storybook moment, we'll share everything you need to know, from practical tips for exploring the chateau to the hidden details that make it so unforgettable. So settle in and prepare to step into Château de Chenonceau, right here on Saving Castles. Like out of a dreamy fairy tale, Château de Chenonceau seems to float on the Cher River, with its arches gracefully stretching across the water. I can't emphasize it enough. The castle looks as if it's been plucked from a storybook, but its history is anything but whimsical. Chenonceau was built in the early 16th century on the site of a crumbling mill, but the real drama started when it became the prize of some of France's most powerful women. Its most dramatic chapter began with a boy, a young prince named Henry, the future King Henry II of France. When Henry was just a child, he was sent to Spain as part of a political arrangement, essentially a hostage exchange to secure the release of his father, King Francis I. When Henry and his older brother finished packing up their things to join captivity, it was time to say goodbye to the French court. The terrified Henry was soothed by a woman who said goodbye to him with a tender kiss on the forehead. That woman was Diane de Poitiers, and the prince was only 7 years old. That small, tender gesture of comfort left an indelible impression on the young Henry. With it, distance only made his heart grow fonder. Years pass, and soon after he returned, Henry began a bold and shocking affair with Diane, known throughout court. Henry was 15, Diane was 35. Years later, when Henry ascended the throne as Henry II, his affection for Diane had only deepened. She became his confidant and advisor, a powerful force behind the scenes. But this was a really scandalous affair, as Henry II was married to Catherine de Medici. While Château de Chenonceau is celebrated for its beauty, it is equally famous for this dramatic rivalry between Diane de Poitiers and Catherine de Medici. Over time, Diane's influence over Henry grew immensely. As a grand gesture of his devotion, Henry gave Diane the prized Château de Chenonceau in 1547, using a letters patent to grant her full ownership and perpetual rights to the estate. Diane didn't only accept this gift, she transformed it. She turned Château de Chenonceau into a flourishing property, tripling its agricultural yield and designing gardens that rivaled the chateau's beauty. She also commissioned the iconic arched bridge that now spans the Cher River, blending Renaissance elegance with her own impeccable vision. However, this public gift humiliated Catherine de Medici, who was forced to watch Diane rule over one of France's most stunning properties. And luckily for Catherine, the gifted chateau had a caveat, as it really wasn't Henry's to give. The chateau belonged to the crown, so after Henry's tragic death in a jousting accident in 1559, Catherine seized the opportunity to claim Chenonceau for herself, evicting Diane and forcing her to exchange it for the less desirable Château de Chaumont. Once in possession, Catherine found the chateau still haunted by Diane's presence. The intertwined initials C and H on the ceilings and walls, originally intended to represent Catherine and Henry, appeared to form a hidden D, symbolizing Diane. Do you see it? This hidden reminder of her rival's influence enraged Catherine. She reportedly demanded that Diane return all crown jewels and the chateau immediately, setting about redesigning and expanding Chenonceau as a declaration of her triumph. Yet, Diane's parting words, "J'ai vaincu le vainqueur de tous," I have vanquished the victor of all, served as a sharp reminder of her enduring legacy and defiance. Château de Chenonceau earned its nickname, the Ladies' Castle, because of the remarkable women who shaped its history. Beyond Diane de Poitiers and Catherine de Medici, a succession of powerful, visionary women played important roles in preserving and enhancing this iconic chateau. Before Catherine de Medici's time in Chenonceau, the construction of the chateau was supervised by Catherine Brissonnet, the wife of Thomas Bohier, a wealthy financier and secretary to King Francis I. While her husband was often away managing the king's affairs, Catherine took charge of the project, supervising the design and construction of what would become one of the most beautiful castles in France. After Catherine de Medici's reign, Louise de Lorraine inherited Chenonceau. As the wife of King Henry III, Louise lived here during a period of profound grief after her husband's assassination. She transformed the chateau into a place of mourning, draping her quarters in black and white, the traditional colors of royal mourning in France. Louise became known as the White Queen, and her quiet, sorrowful presence added a somber layer to Chenonceau's history. In the 18th century, the chateau came into the hands of Louise Dupin, who turned it into a hub for Enlightenment thinkers. Louise was a brilliant hostess and invited the likes of Voltaire, Rousseau, and other intellectuals of the time to gather at Chenonceau. Her passion for art, literature, and progressive ideas helped preserve the chateau during the French Revolution. Legend has it that her popularity among the people and her argument that Chenonceau served as a vital crossing over the Cher River saved it from destruction. Finally, Marguerite Pelouse in the 19th century undertook extensive renovations to restore the chateau to its Renaissance glory. Though her financial struggles eventually led to the chateau's sale, her work ensured that Chenonceau would remain one of France's most beloved landmarks. Their contributions, whether rooted in love, loss, or intellectual ambition, are what make Chenonceau more than just a beautiful chateau. It is a living monument that tells us of the power, resilience, and creativity of the women who ruled it. Let's explore the interiors a bit more. The bedrooms of Château de Chenonceau are filled with history and charm. Visitors can explore these opulent rooms at their own pace. Each bedroom reflects its occupant's personality, from Diane de Poitiers' refined elegance to the royal opulence of Catherine's quarters. The kitchen, located in the piers of the bridge over the Cher River, is a fascinating glimpse into Renaissance culinary life. It features massive fireplaces, original bread ovens, and gleaming copper pots. Its location near the water allowed direct delivery of fresh fish and supplies, making it a practical yet stunning part of the chateau. The gallery is a masterpiece of Renaissance design, a 60-meter-long hall with black and white tiled floors and tall windows, offering stunning views of the river below. It served as a ballroom under Catherine de Medici's reign, and later as an escape route during World War II, as it connected Nazi-occupied and free France. The chapel, built in the early 16th century, is a serene space filled with light from its beautiful stained glass windows. Remarkably, the windows were saved from destruction during the French Revolution when Louise Dupin ordered them to be hidden. The chapel remains a symbol of the chateau's resilience and grace. Throughout the chateau, visitors can marvel at intricate tapestries, lavish furnishings, and stunning artwork. the interiors reflect the chateau's Renaissance roots, with vaulted ceilings, ornate fireplaces, and elegant stonework, offering a glimpse into the luxurious lives of its inhabitants. Outside, the gardens are just as captivating as the chateau itself. Diane de Poitiers created a perfectly symmetrical masterpiece, its structure unchanged since its creation by Diane. While Catherine, ever the rival, designed her own equally stunning garden that shows refinement. If you're planning a visit, you'll be glad to know it's pretty straightforward, just 2 hours from Paris by train, and there's parking if you're driving. Tickets can be booked online, and we highly recommend this to skip the lines. Our visit was in early October, around 11 in the morning on a Friday, and there were a lot of tourists. Knowing this now, we should have timed our visit a bit earlier in the morning to avoid the crowds. As this is one of the most visited castles in France, it probably won't make a difference what day of the week you visit, but it helps to get ahead of the crowd during the day. For us, Chenonceau was more than just a stop on a Loire Valley tour. It was a day of connection to history, to nature, and to each other. This isn't just a chateau, it's a reminder of how art, resilience, and human stories can endure. And on this sunny fall day, we got to be a small part of its legacy. If you enjoyed this tour of Château de Chenonceau and want to see more breathtaking castles and their fascinating stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an adventure with us. Your support helps us keep bringing history to life, one castle at a time.